Hey Uku, before the video begins, what did you think of my resume? What do you mean making videos that nobody watches is not an employable skill? Okay, so I don't think it's a secret. A lot of us really struggle to choose a career path. But I think a large part of that is simply because the majority of us don't know a lot about the potential careers out there. I mean, yeah, we know about doctor, and we know about lawyer, and we know about a lot of the other basic jobs, and those are all fine and dandy, but there are tons and tons of other jobs that we really don't know about, and a lot of them are pretty cool. And in this video, I wanted to go over a couple of them, and who knows, I might just help somebody choose a new career. Now, we're going to start in the medical field, the perfusionist. No, now that I say it out loud, it sounds like something in the cosmetic industry, but it has nothing to do with that. Now, not to take anything away from surgeons, but there's a lot going into surgery that the surgeons simply don't and realistically can't take care of. There's just too many things going on. Depending on the surgery, one of the things that they cannot do is continuously keep blood and oxygen moving through the body. Sometimes they have to stop the heart, and other times they have to completely remove the heart depending on the surgery. But even without the heart, you need to keep the body alive somehow, and the surgeons are too busy, doing surgery to really worry about that. In this case, the perfusionist comes in. They're the ones in charge of keeping the blood and oxygen running through the body while the heart and lungs cannot. Or more specifically, they're the people who manage the machines that are trying to keep up with all that. I think we can all agree that that's kind of an important job. Keeping somebody alive so that they don't die during surgery. Little bit of a big deal. So, if you were looking to get into the medical field but didn't really feel like becoming a doctor or a nurse for whatever reason, this might be an option for you. Perfusionists make about £45,000 a year, give or take, depending on where you're working. Now, the next one is a bit of a hybrid type deal. I don't think it's terribly uncommon that people have a difficult time choosing a career because they're really interested in two different subjects but aren't aware of any careers that allow them to combine the two. Well, if that was you and you thought to yourself, man, I'm really into science and I'm also really into art. If only there was a career that combined the two. Well, you're in luck, 'cause there is. It's called medical illustrator. Now, I'm sure you could probably already tell what this job is just by the name alone, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. In this job, you make, medical illustrations. Brains, organs, muscles, things that can be referred to and used as teaching material or reference books. A medical illustrator makes about £50,000 a year or so, again, depending on job type and experience and stuff like that. Now, next one is definitely one I did not realize could be a job. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Well, do you know how when you buy something and it's packaged, more often than not, if you ever try to put it back in its packaging, you can't? It doesn't matter which way you fold it, what you unscrew, what you undo, doesn't matter. Heck, you could have a shrink ray, it still ain't going in there. And you think to yourself, who on earth could have possibly gotten this in here in the first place? The person who did this has to be a wizard. And yeah, this is a job. The people who designed the method of putting things into boxes as compactly as possible. They're called packaging engineers, or as I like to call them, warlocks, because I refuse to believe anybody can put a tent in this bag without magic, okay? Alright. Anyways, they can make about 45,000 pounds per year or so. And finally, the hydrologist. This is one you definitely gotta like nature to do. They study the movement of water. Okay, I'm making it sound a lot less complicated than it really is. They study the movement of the water in, like, the whole globe. How it moves, why it moves that way. Is it supposed to be moving that way? Will the earth explode? If it can, probably not, but you get my point. They study basically how all the water moves and make sure everything is moving properly, and tell us, and hopefully figure out the solution as to how we can fix potential problems in how water moves. Because believe it or not, how water moves is just as important as the quality of the water itself. For instance, if you have a saltwater body feeding into a freshwater body, and it's not supposed to be feeding into that freshwater body, you could end up killing a whole ecosystem. And that's just one of the things I can think off the top of my head. Point is, kind of important. They make about 20,000 pounds a year. So even though it pays considerably less, I imagine that it's kind of one of those deals that you really, really enjoy the work. And honestly, it's probably one of the more important ones on this list. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you think that there are other underrated jobs that you want everybody to know about, or at least more recognition, please leave it down in the comments below. Maybe I'll make another video if I get enough of them. Please make sure I hit that subscribe button and that bell button. I post every other week. Uku, would you like to say anything before we leave? Okay. Well, guys, until next time, hear nothing and listen to all. Bye.